All right, here we are at the finish line, the cap off to the Countathon, and it's been fun. It's been fun checking out Keanu's filmography. And while I didn't review every film he's done, but I did go all the way back to Youngblood, which he was in for a little bit. I know there was one movie back in the day. I think he had a very small role in. It was a TV movie. I think it was called Active Vengeance. I could not find anywhere online, but in the film he kills Charles Bronson. Yeah, so but that I could not find. But I reviewed every film he's done from Young Blood all the way up to Knock Knock, just about. And yeah, I mean Keanu. I don't know why I chose Keanu. He's one of those actors that I've always enjoyed, and he's done a lot of great movies. A few bad ones. There's a couple of ones he did before Bill and Ted that weren't so good. And it seems like recently he's done a couple of bad ones. If it's not the John Wick movies, like Siberia and Replicas. But it's like I said, it's been fun, and so today bringing you my top favorite Keanu Reeves films, and I will do a top worst, and I was gonna do a top 10, but I wanted to squeeze in a couple of more, and I wanted to give certain films their own place, so it's not like a tie for one spot. So this is my top 13 Keanu Reeves films, and again, this is my top 13. I'd like to see, I know some people might question a couple of spots, but I'd like to see what's your top 10. What's your top 7 or top 5, or if you have a top 13. But here we are, and we're going to kick off the top 13, my favorite Keanu Reeves films. Starting with the number 13, we have Point Break. And I know people might go, well, how can that be so, low on the list? But the thing is, I enjoy this enough for this to be in my top 13. I enjoy Keanu in the film. Patrick Swayze's great. Gary Busey, Lord Petty, great cast. Great soundtrack. It's well shot, well directed. It's a great looking movie. Some good suspense. And like I said in my review of the film, a couple of nitpicks. Gary Busey's character being killed off. I don't think that needed to happen. That's one thing that bugs me, that bugs me about the film. And then the ending, which I did mention, just letting Patrick Swayze's character go. So, yeah, a couple of things about the film do bother me, but I enjoy it enough to put it in my top 13. I think, getting to these other ones, there's other Keanu films that I rather watch more. It's still not a bad movie. Again, that's why I have this in my top 13, but there's other Keanu films that I enjoy more, that I watch more. So yeah, that's number 13, Point Break. Number 12, getting my list up. Number 12 is The Night Before. Night Before was a fun little movie that I saw, and it's an 80s comedy, sort of a precursor to The Hangover, where Keanu's girlfriend in the film, played by Lori Loughlin, and he sells her to this pimp, and he's out in the wrong part of town looking for his girlfriend, trying to get her back and piece together what happened the night before because he got all drunk. And it's a fun comedy that I think is a little underrated. It doesn't get talked about much, and I'm sorry if the sun is going in and out here. Looks like it's getting ready to rain, but yeah, The Night Before, like I said, it's a good comedy that's a hidden gem from the 80s that nobody really talks about much. And I've enjoyed, like, the more and more I think about that film, I do enjoy it. And yeah, I think it deserves a little bit more talk, or spotlight, if you will. And it's he did it before Bill and Ted. He did that film like a year before Bill and Ted come out. And in the film, Countess' character is sort of a doofus. So you kind of get a little bit of that Ted Logan before Ted Logan. But definitely check out The Night Before if you haven't seen it. I don't know if it's available on DVD. Maybe somebody out there I'm sure it is on VHS, but I don't know if it's on DVD. I would like to pick it up. So maybe somebody out there knows if it's on DVD or not. But yeah, really enjoyed The Night Before. Definitely an underrated 80s comedy, hidden gem. Recommend that. So that's number 12. Number 11, The Matrix Reloaded. And yeah, an underrated sequel that I enjoy. And I know some people out there don't care for the sequels, but I enjoyed the trilogy. And The Matrix Reloaded, I didn't see in a theater, but I remember all the hype around the film. I remember like seeing, I'd watch TV and they would have like these entertainment shows where they would cover certain films for like half an hour and go like into the behind the scenes stuff. And, you know, they would cover like the fight in the park scene, and, you know, you can see some of the behind the scenes stuff with Keanu Reeves and such. Maybe it was on E back in the day. I forgot the name of the show. But so I remember the hype for the film and the promotion. I never saw it in a theater. I know they're working on a Matrix 4, but you don't need it. But I really enjoy this film. And I definitely, expanded on this world and these characters, and, Neo being the one, discovering more about, being the one, and some really great action. You get the fight in the park where he fights all the Agent Smiths. You got the action on the freeway with the Ghost Twins. And you got some action in Zion with the Machines. And great cast. The cast is great once again. The Wachowskis do a great job directing. And it just, it's an entertaining sequel. Entertaining movie. So, yeah, The Matrix Reloaded. And like I said, I review these films, so if you haven't, you can go check them out. There is a playlist of the Keanu-thon reviews. But yeah, The Matrix Reloaded, great sequel, entertaining, and underrated. So that's number 11. Hope you can see it all right. Again, I'm sorry if the lighting's not the best today. Number 10, actually don't have that. But at number 10, I will put Street Kings. Yeah, I don't have the film. I had to rent the film. But I really enjoy Street Kings. It's a great down and dirty cop movie. Keanu's character. It sort of feels like a film that, like you would see in the 80s, because Keanu's character doesn't hold back any punches, and at times the way he conducts himself in the film, it's very like a, very renegade, kind of a maverick cop. Again, like kind of like you would see in the 80s, like, these 80s cop movies or 90s cop movies. And it's cool to see Keanu, play that type of character, sort of a down and dirty, cop movie. And a really good cast. You have Forrest Whitaker in the film. You have Hugh Laurie in the film, Chris Evans, Terry Crews, Cedric the Entertainer, Common, he's in the film. And directed by David Ayer, which, yeah, the guy's work is, it could go either way. He's a hit or miss director, but I thought he did a great job directing Street Kings. And nobody really talks about the film much. I see more people talk about Training Day than they do Street Kings, but if I had to choose, I prefer Street Kings. I think the cast is great. I still love Training Day. But Street Kings, that's another one that is on the underrated side that nobody really talks about now, and I don't know why. Again, I'm just trying to make the best. I think it's about to rain, so I'm kind of at the mercy here of sunlight. But yeah, Street Kings is number 10, great movie. Getting to number 9. Number 9 is The Replacements. And yeah, very enjoyable football comedy, and Keanu Reeves is having a lot of fun here as this quarterback, and really good cast. I mean, you have Gene Hackman in the film, Orlando Jones, I like the girl in the film. I forgot the actress's name. Is it Brooke Langton? Yeah, she was good. Directed by Howard Dutch, the same guy that directed The Great Outdoors and I believe Pretty in Pink. So, he's done some comedies in the past, and I thought he did a great job directing this. And, just a lot of great shenanigans between these characters. Again, Orlando Jones, he's the receiver, sort of a loudmouth, but he's having fun. You also have Jon Favreau in the film as a linebacker, and he's, sort of a high energy character. Also has a good soundtrack, and of course you can't forget the quote from the film, pain heals, chicks dig scars, and glory lasts forever. And yeah, and there's some interesting features up here. I mean, you have 2 behind-the-scenes documentaries, a first look at the film, and audio commentary by directors. So, again, a couple of decent features. But yeah, if you haven't seen The Replacements, definitely check it out. It's a really fun, enjoyable film that's filled with, some laughs. And yeah, one of Keanu's best comedies. But yeah. The Replacements was a lot of fun. So that's number 9. Number 8. Number 8 is Constantine. Yeah, Constantine's a great supernatural film. Keanu is great as his character. I would love to see a sequel, and that's one thing I didn't talk about in my review. I would have loved, and it's not too late. Keanu can still do it. I think he's interested. Like, I think at one point he said that he's up for a sequel, but I don't know if they'll do it. But Keanu Reeves, he's great as this character, John Constantine. And it's funny how in the past, he did The Devil's Advocate with Al Pacino, so it's not the first time he's come across Satan. Because here you have Peter Stormare as Satan, and you have Tilda Swinton as Gabriel, sort of this androgynous angel. And you also have Rachel Weisz in the film as this cop character, Shia LaBeouf. He's decent in the film. And yeah, some very cool, supernatural scenes. Yeah, again, like I said in my review, there's some CGI spots in there. It's not the best, but I thought, to me, as a comic book film, even though I haven't read the comics, I thought it was well done and well directed. I know this director would go on to direct the Hunger Games films, but I think he directed I Am Legend. Yeah, this guy Francis Lawrence. But yeah, Constantine is a great comic book movie, and yeah, like I said, I definitely would love to see a sequel. Constantine rules. So that's number 8. Number 7, we have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah, the first one, love Bill and Ted's, Excellent Adventure, the one that started all. And, I know Bill and Ted 3 is coming out. I don't know if it's going to come out in theaters still. Maybe we'll see what happens. I know there's a trailer that's, supposed to come out here soon or in the next month. But, Bill and Ted, the first film, I mean, him and Alex Winter have great chemistry, and it definitely, skyrocketed Keanu. I mean, because before this, he did a couple of films like Permanent Record, The Night Before, River's Edge. And again, like I said, with The Night Before, you kind of saw a little bit of that Ted Logan in there. And, well, I forgot about The Prince of Pennsylvania. That was a bad movie. That's the one that I was kind of surprising I didn't go more ranty on. But, from this point, I think also in the same year he did Parenthood. And then, off to the races. But, George Carlin's in the film as Rufus, and these characters are having so much fun, trying to do this assignment so they go back in time to, pick up certain historical figures. And, Yeah, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a great movie, definitely a comedy classic, and that leads into number 6, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, which is my favorite. I think they really, you know, as far as like the plot and where they took these characters, they definitely. I'm trying to think of a word. It's more insane. That's what I mean. I was trying to, I had that word in mind, but I was trying to think of another word. Um, it's definitely a crazy sequel, and I mean, you have Bill and Ted. They go to hell. They meet the Grim Reaper, played by William Sadler. He's having fun here. Joss Ackland is our villain. Yeah, Hans from Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity. That guy. I think he was in the Mighty Ducks too. But it's a crazier sequel, and they did a lot of just crazy things. I mean, you had, playing games with the Grim Reaper, like Battleship and Clue and Twister. You got the scenes where they're in hell and they're being chased by Colonel Oates and the evil Easter Bunny. Then you have the concert at the end where it ends with, God gave rock and roll to you. And yeah, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, I just think that, they really cranked it up to 11 there in terms of craziness and I was trying to think of another word. Crazy, insane, whatever word you want to throw in there. Whatever word you want to throw in the blank there. But it's my favorite of the Bill and Ted movies. So, yeah, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is number 6. I love the Bill and Ted movies. And Bill and Ted 3, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll wait to see a trailer first. But number 5, I would have to put at that spot John Wick. Love John Wick. And again, I wish I saw this in the theater back in the day. Or, I say back in the day, but it was only a few years ago when it came out. But I wish I had saw this, and the first time I saw this, I'm like, man, I want to see more of this character, more of this, this world of these assassins, and then we got that with the sequels. But John Wick is the one that started it all, and definitely when it comes to Keanu Reeves, I mean, it's like with his career, I mean, it just really blew. It seems like things just got bigger, which I know he's working on John Wick 4, but that's not coming out for another couple of years now. So, but it just showed that age does not stop this dude, and he's a badass. This character's a badass, and this movie kicks ass. So, and great direction from Chad Stahelski, and great action, well shot action. Yeah, John Wick, love John Wick, and yeah, so a great action movie. And like I said in my review of the film, definitely the Hitman film we should have got. Not the Timothy Olyphant one. This is, to me, I'm like, okay, Keanu is now Agent 47. And that's a whole other thing. I love the character, and I just hate that way. Hate how that movie turned out. That's how you do it. John Wick kicks ass. So John Wick is at number 5. Number 4. We have The Matrix. Love The Matrix. And I remember seeing this for the first time. I think it was in 2000 when I saw it for the first time, and being blown away by it. And to this, rewatching this again, still holds up. And it's a great movie. It's a classic. It's like, what more can you say about The Matrix that hasn't been said before? And it's a film that makes you think, and you have great characters and a great performance from Keanu Reeves, which I know Will Smith turned down the film to do Wild Wild West. But Keanu knocked it out of the park, along with this cast, and it definitely changed the game. if you want to say, as far as like movies and the way movies are, were made after that. And yeah, it definitely left its mark. And it's a mark that, like I said, still holds up. And it's a classic. And, even another 20 years from now, people are still going to talk about The Matrix. So again, it's like, what more can you say about the film? But The Matrix is a great movie. So that's at number 4. Love that film. Number 3, we have John Wick Chapter 2. And like I said, for a while, this was my favorite. And I had the third film, like I had the Blu-ray of the third film, and I had not seen it. Like, I saw it in the theaters, and I rewatched it again for this marathon. And that's like, I saw it in theaters, and that's the last time I saw the film. And for a while, this was my favorite. Then watching the third film, I'm like, now that's my favorite. But John Wick Chapter 2 still kicks ass. And it's a great action movie. And Keanu's great once again as John Wick. And like I said, with this, you do have a commentary up here by Keanu Reeves and director Chad Stahelski. So I kind of want to check out that commentary now. But John Wick Chapter 2, I mean, their introduction of the Bowery King, played by Lawrence Fishburne, some good villains in there. You have Common as the character Cassian. Ruby Rose was fine. The main villain, he's okay, but, you got great action, a lot of great gunplay. The museum with the shifting mirrors in the end is really cool. And again, influenced by Enter the Dragon, which the director mentioned. And I saw that in the trivia of the film. And it definitely took it up after the first film, this film definitely took it up a notch. And it delivered. And it was a great theater experience. So, yeah, John Wick Chapter 2, yeah, definitely a great movie. So that's number 3. John Wick 2. Number 2, we have John Wick Chapter 3. And like I said, for a while that was my favorite. Then rewatching this again, I'm like, man, I forgot how crazy this film is. And it's a little bit longer than I think Chapter 2. But the thing is, the action is nonstop. And, with Halle Berry in the film as Sophia, and Mark Dacascos as this, assassin, this Zero character, and being a fan of John Wick. He's like, I'm a fan of your work. And so far, you haven't disappointed. And he was having fun in the movie. And just a lot of great action. The film kicks off where he's being chased, and he goes into this building, and he have a little gunfight, but then he breaks out the swords and the knives, and he got to throwing knives a bit. And then he's killing people with, he's killing people with horses in the horse stable. And he's on a horse. And you got some gunplay there, where he's on a horse. And then he's on a bike and being pursued by these other ninjas on these bikes. And, they take out the swords. And you got the scenes where he's teaming up with Halle Berry. And they're kicking ass together in the second act of the film. And then by the end, not only do you have some of that great action in the Continental, but that also leads into the finale where he fights these two guys and, at the top of the Continental in this like glass office. And then Mark Dacascos comes in and they have a one-on-one. And again, just the action is nonstop. And again, Lawrence Fishburne's character having more to do. Halle Berry was great. Angelica Houston's in the film. Mark Dacascos. I like how the hotel manager, that guy right there, got involved. With the scenes in the Continental. And McShane is great once again. And definitely leaves you wanting more. Especially at the end where, they pick up John Wick and Lawrence Fishburne's like, Are you pissed, John? Yeah, I'm pissed. Well, he doesn't. I think he just says yeah. And then it's like, man, you want more? Bring me part 4. Just don't kill him off like they talked about. You do that, fuck these movies. I'm serious. Don't kill John Wick off, please. For the love of God, don't. But John Wick Chapter 3 is a great movie. Definitely cranked it up to 11, and great action film. And great theater, another great theater experience. So John Wick Chapter 3 is number 2. And number 1, you have to put it number 1, Speed. Yeah, a great action movie. Keanu's great here as Jack Traven and Sandra Bullock. And they were a great pair-up in the film. And they have great chemistry. Dennis Hopper is our villain in the film. He's this bomber. Jeff Daniels is in the film for a little bit. What? I can't even talk. Even though his villain gets killed off, but he was still good in the film. Great direction from Jan de Bont, same guy that directed Twister, and I thought he did a great job here. I know he directed Speed 2, but I don't know what happened. What happened with Jan de Bont. I mean, he directed this movie, Twister. Speed 2 didn't help. I know he directed the Lara Croft Tomb Raider sequel with Angelina Jolie, and then after that, he just didn't direct anymore. I think he's one of those guys that should have gotten more of a chance, being that people still talk about Speed today. People still talk about Twister. Those 2 films, and I know Jan de Bont did some, I think like cinematography back in the day for like Basic Instinct and Lethal Weapon 2, or not Lethal Weapon 2. I think it was the third one. And Die Hard. So, but I wish Jan de Bont got more chances. Because, I think he did a great job here. Speed 2 is a different story, but I love Speed. And it definitely, even like you could say before this, Keanu, what Point Break was kind of his start with the action genre, but I prefer this more because, it's more of Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, and, they have great chemistry, and Dennis Hopper was a great villain, and great action, great suspense, and, yeah, definitely an action classic of the 90s. So, yeah, that's my favorite Keanu Reeves film is Speed, and that's my top 13 Keanu Reeves films. So, yeah, this was fun, and definitely went over a lot here. So that's my top 13. And next up, I'll be bringing you my top worst of Keanu Reeves films. So, but again, what are your top 10 Keanu films? What are your top 7, top 5? But hope you enjoy this, and thank you for watching. Have a good day.